What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit, the podcast where everyone's welcome to the table to share a good conversation, a great drink, and even better company, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. Welcome back to part 2 of the Turkey Day episode with our friends. But before we even introduce them, let's just acknowledge how dope those beats just were in that intro.
Oh my god!
I know that this is
vibes. Every time they're on, I'm just fucking hitting in it. I'm just living in it for a minute.
There's a legitimate question to ask for people. It's like, hey, is that intro too long? And a good 8 out of 10 people said, I fucking vibe out. I wish that was a full song.
That's the type of music that you stay at extra floor if it's playing in your elevator.
Yeah.
Even my wife was just like, the music's a bit long, and I was like, you shut your mouth. Okay,
so good.
You just get in there, you just enjoy it for a minute.
Maybe I'll cut
when
off.
it ended, I was a little sad.
I know.
Maybe cut 10 seconds off. But as you can tell, I am back with the boys, Gata, Dave. We're going to call you Dave either way, so we don't confuse people.
Sounds good.
Welcome back, buddy. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, my man. I'm doing great. Happy to be here. I know in real time we've run forward another week, so people should have a little bit of their shopping done, maybe back into a normal routine. Probably enjoying a little bit of Mariah Carey music right now.
Enjoying is not the word I would use.
Enjoying my favorite
She's
season
defrosted.
of the year. She is Michael Bublé and Mariah Carey are loose and wreaking havoc on the streets, and I hope everyone is feeling honestly their best selves, enjoying the holiday season.
I imagine that as like them as titans, just getting out, destroying
just erupting
cities
from the earth.
Yeah.
Just,
coming out hands.
But yes, he is correct. We have still been drinking, so this is part 2 of this. So you're going to hear us a little bit more saucy. Speaking of saucy and villains,
Hey-o.
Richie, welcome back, part 2. How are you doing, buddy?
much.
Since the last 14 seconds that we said hi to each other.
No, it's fantastic. Doing great. You know, again, we've had flash forward a week. I'm hoping everybody got the most amazing deals on Black Friday, and I hope that you didn't actually go out because people are gross, and you stayed and waited till Cyber Monday, guys.
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder, people.
Yeah.
There it
I don't
is.
need to see people to save money.
Exactly. You don't need to see people. That right there.
You know what someone said to me the other day? I was playing video games. This was literally last night. I said, I need a new Ethernet cable. And that person said, you should go to Walmart. And I said, the fuck I will. I will go to Amazon.com right now and buy
That
this
person
shit.
was me.
I got a Cat 6 100-foot Ethernet cord for $12 on Amazon.
Dude, it's unbeat. Amazon's prices are unbeatable. My point was you don't have to wait. You just go grab it.
And my point was, I'm a Prime member. It's like that
Who's
image.
that's not a fucking
Jeremy
merit
Jam,
badge.
you were looking at a Prime member.
Exactly.
Everybody's a Prime
I was
member.
waiting. Thank you. You said that I was going to be. I am a Prime member.
You are looking at a Prime member.
It's that meme
God.
where the vampires from Twilight stand above like the aristocrats watching everyone. It's like the people who have Prime versus the people who wait 2 days.
Oh, it's so good. I love that meme. That's classic meme.
So like
Wow.
when he said that to me, I was like, I'd rather wait the day to not see people. I'm fine.
Absolutely.
I'm 100% fine.
Although
Walmart.
you do know that they mark it up. They're like, wow, this was $15 yesterday. Now it's $12, but it's always been $12 prior to yesterday.
Still not mad at it. Did I save time seeing people?
But hopefully you get a 1-day shipping.
Yeah, that's what I want. I wanted to wake up in the morning and some fucking person is just trying to make ends meet. I'm sorry, Jose. Is showing up at my house at 7 in the morning, dropping off packages.
Have you seen the Amazon electric vehicles?
Actually, yeah,
They're
They
so
look
fantastic.
dope. They look dope.
Yeah.
They're nice looking.
But we are always here with the drink of the day. But because it's a new week, we want to do something sweet. Today's drink is a sweet Manhattan. Well, my favorite version of it is called the Cherry Lovers Manhattan Cocktail. This is a little bit more, as you can tell in the name, grape flavored. No, I'm kidding. It is cherry, so it's going to be...
Unbelievable joke you made there.
Oh, you
sure
loved
everyone
it.
laughed.
To be fair, Richie just laughed. So,
I did laugh.
So you uncultured swine. So
I want that purple stuff.
I want the purple stuff.
We got that grape drink.
Grape drink. So this cocktail is 2-ounce bourbon whiskey, 1 ounce sweet vermouth, ½ ounce of Luxardo Maresciano cherry liqueur, and 2 ounces of Angostura bitters with a tablespoon or two of Maraschino cherry juice. So straight out the jar, because we end up throwing out that jar full of juice anyway, which is wasteful, you ruffians.
That's very.
And as many cherries as you want, because this is America, and I have choices.
Hey,
And
here for it.
I'm an American.
I'm not a fan of cherries.
Oh, I know you aren't, but that's why you only got one.
I know. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thoughtful.
But obviously, this is a little bit different than the previous cocktail we had. This is stirred, not shaken. This will be in your cocktail last, so it's fancier. This is a Manhattan, and because it doesn't have a citrus. So with citrus cocktails, you kind of want to break that up and make that more almost congealed. You want to make that more unified, where this is going to just elevate the flavors as opposed to masking the flavors with a shaken cocktail.
Emulsify them.
Emulsify. It's a really weird thing, but if you ever notice that a lot of like cocktails that have citrus in it are shaken.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to be spirit forward is stirred, because you want to distill it a little bit, where like dilute it a little bit. No, excuse me.
So what I'm hearing is James Bond's kind of a pussy.
His
Shaken, not stirred.
A little bit. He had shit to do.
Kind of a pussy.
Oh, that, and he wanted.
He's also.
The other reason is he wanted it more diluted, so he could have more water, so it wouldn't be as alcoholic, so he can still function.
Exactly.
But if he was from, the American Association of Spies, he would have stirred it, not shaken it.
He would have just dropped the bomb there.
And then we would have like lost.
The world would have been destroyed 1,000 times over by now.
Jaws.
Yeah, the American spies aren't the British. I mean, I'm joking. In movies, at least. Please don't. Hopefully, my FBI agent who monitors me isn't mad.
Tom Cruise disagrees.
FBI surveillance.
Hi, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and cheers this and drink this. We're actually drinking this in real time. I don't think you boys have ever had this cocktail, so let's find out.
Never.
All right, let's enjoy, boys.
So while they enjoy this, I do want to let you know. Actually, tell me how the flavor is. Does it taste boozy or good?
Go ahead, Richie. I'm thinking. I'm processing.
Very boozy forward.
Yeah.
But that cherry after finish is fantastic.
Have you ever done a pickleback shot?
I hate pickle juice.
Yeah. But have you done one?
I have.
And
it's awful.
So maybe you'll recognize what I mean. I'm not saying they're particularly good, but this is very booze forward.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then the cherry on the back end is a lot like that pickleback shot, where you take the pickle juice and it's just gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Like you forget that you're drinking a whiskey drink.
Yeah.
So Manhattans are always been spirit forward, right? So when you talk about pre-prohibition drinks, they're very simple. There's going to be some bitters, some spirit, dilution, just kind of like much more. I'm trying to get the job done.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the job done and not lose my eyesight, kind of shit. Because those spirits are stronger.
I like that it's not super sweet. It's not.
That's why I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I want to give you guys a little bit something more spirit forward. You fucked around a little bit earlier. Well, last episode with the paper plane, where it's really bitter. Really, MIA. Thank you for the inspiration for that, bartender, or we would not have had this. But it is a fun cocktail. But overall, I think what will surprise you is that the spirit we used will be featured later today is the Stag Junior 131.1 proof. So this bad boy will put some hair on every single bit of your body.
Wait, there's Stag in this?
This is Stag Junior.
There's Stag in this.
This is Stag Junior. That's why I told you it was going to surprise you.
Is that why I have an erection?
Yes.
I'm letting you know, as spirit proof, like
Doesn't
as
taste like
spirit
Stag.
forward as this is.
Doesn't taste like Stag.
No. If you would have told me, hey, I made this with 4 roses, I would have been like, yeah, definitely.
Stag smells a lot smoother than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Joe,
That's the point.
Don't let it sneak up on you.
That's the
It's
point.
so good.
These guys are jumping so far in time. Put the bottle down. Don't make me gobble you.
I'll do what I want.
Smelling salts. It's waking me up.
That's not seasonal. That's not even seasonal anymore. You missed it.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, Turkey. I'm sorry. I'll settle down.
We'll find Christmas bells.
Yeah.
Listen, boys. But overall, this cocktail is one of my favorite ones. It's a little unique, obviously, because it's not the traditional Manhattan. It's going to be much more about the cherries. And if you don't do it right, it will taste like Robitussin.
So in what setting should you look to order this drink?
So Cherries Lover Manhattan is not typically going to be on a menu, but you can guide someone through it.
Okay.
But this is one of those chill, I want to sip on this until either my friends show up or I'm having a prolonged conversation with friends.
So this is like a cigars kind of thing?
Yep. We're hanging out. We are vibing for a while. This
so
is
a little
not
stogie and a cherry Manhattan.
I mean, with Stag in it, you're absolutely right. Like you don't. This is not something that you're going to order 2 or 3 of.
Why have we not done a stogie stream or a stogie podcast?
Because
Yo,
we're
let's
inside
do
my
very
house.
stogie.
We're inside my house.
You've got windows that open.
I'm not doing anything like that in my house. We will do that maybe at a cigar bar. If
You let me know. I smoke cigars, sir.
it's
It's one of my vices.
If
I will smoke a
for
cigar.
anyone listening at home and would like me to do an like an on-site stream, you let me know, because then I would send you the bill for the new microphone that I need to be able to do
You
that.
come do some stogies at my house, man. You're open invitation.
True. Just equipment moving. But overall, this is one of my favorite drinks that I found, because I've always been the dude that my favorite dessert is a Black Forest cake. It's cherry forward with liquor and coffee.
okay.
Makes sense.
I like
That's
cherry
your
pies.
favorite, though?
Yes. Remember, I'm lactose intolerant, so good amount of desserts
Are
were
off
something I have
limits.
to opt out of.
Interesting.
Black Forest does have some cream in it, but it is not the core of it. The crux of it is coffee, cherries, and chocolate. So
like dark chocolate, though.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. It's a very, very cool dessert. I've always liked it. So this drink spoke to me. Now, this is going to be a random question, but if you boys, I'm going to start with Gata. If you could turn any dessert, your favorite dessert, into a cocktail, what would it be?
Key lime pie.
Shit, they make something like that. Why a key lime pie?
I have a key lime pie vodka from Tampa.
Because key lime pie, one, is a very, very, very underrated and fantastic dessert, especially if you make the crust out of sugar cookies instead of graham crackers, which is something
Ooh,
motherfuckers don't
that's-
fuck with.
That's new. I've made key lime pie with
Wait,
graham cracker
like
crust.
straight up sugar cookies?
Yeah, so honestly, the cheap way
crumbled
to
it?
do this is just to get the Edwards brand out of your freezer section.
Okay.
And they make it with sugar cookies. And it is, that
10
shit
times better?
fucks you up. It's so good.
Interesting.
But I just feel like the lime obviously lends itself well to alcohol. We've had 1,000 drinks with that.
Yeah.
And then, the creaminess, all the elements that are there with a key lime pie are also present in a good, nice drink. So I think that's a strong option. But I mean, I think desserts lend themselves super well to being an option for drink purchases. So what do you think, Richie?
For me, my dessert would have to be tiramisu, and I know they make tiramisu martinis and different types of stuff like that, or espresso
Yeah.
martinis. But tiramisu to me is one of like it just hits right after a nice, like, if you had a nice, like,
Like a coffee style martini or something.
yeah, it's like a coffee style martini.
Yeah.
But if you had like a nice meal and you want something light for
Tiramisu is
dessert,
coffee flavored a lot,
it is.
right?
It is.
Okay.
It's
What
espresso
about
flavor.
like a creme brulee drink? I feel like that would just do
There's
really, really well.
Actually, it's trending.
sounds
It's
good.
trending
Yeah.
online right now. There's a creme brulee
Would
martini.
you do that with a rum chata?
I don't know. I didn't look into it too
How-
deeply, but it's
yeah.
like, so they actually make a layer of like brulee surface.
Well, that's-
and
you
they
have
crack
to.
into
In a
it.
drink?
In a drink, and they crack it and everything. It's gorgeous looking. So it looked good, but you said a tiramisu. How would you like it? Up, neat, on the rocks? How we looking?
Oh, that's got to be. That can't be on the rocks.
I would assume that you like, so like when you get tiramisu, it's a cream base, there's a lot of cream in there, so you would have to have it chilled, but I wouldn't have it on a rock like Gata said. It would definitely have to be chilled.
Yeah.
Because I could almost imagine you could turn a creme brulee into like almost a coquito.
Oh,
That's what I'm trying to get
100%.
at. Like,
have you seen those coquito kits that they're putting out now from Goya?
Stop gentrifying us. Everything.
Wow. We can't. Look here. To my fellow white conglomerate guys,
Stop it.
Make your money.
buy what you got to buy, okay? Do what you got to do to
Dude,
taste good things,
I'm
man.
not gonna lie to you. There's a part of me is like, good. Like, find out what we're talking about.
I'm still
wait.
going to my aunt's.
Coquito's
Wait, I'm
undefeated.
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. This is. I'm not a gatekeeper by any means, but whatever could bring down eggnog.
I agree. Eggnog is awful.
Eggnog this pedestal.
Eggnog is
I
awful.
will 100% just co-sign on them learning coquito if I could eliminate eggnog.
Eggnog
the
is awful.
fuck
It's
is
bad.
that?
It's not a good drink.
The ends justify the means. If this means eggnog will go away in a year, here you go. Here's my hidden recipe. Fucking go nuts.
Dude, eggnog is
Bacardi
just
made a
not
version
good.
of coquito too. But my point was like, so could you imagine a creme brulee like just drink like coquito? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Couldn't you
I
just,
would-
couldn't
I
you
would-
just
I-
creme brulee a coquito? Couldn't you just add a nice,
We don't do that to coquito.
No.
a nice
Oh,
brew?
stop.
No, couldn't you just brulee over the top of it? Just add an element?
Actually,
Maybe
you
with
probably
coconut.
could. So I don't know how you make your coquito, but like in
I don't.
Puerto Rico-
I ask my Puerto Rican friends to make it
yeah,
for
I'm
me.
saying
I pay
it's
for it.
I know it's a Puerto Rican drink, but like there's coquito that you could get with egg and without egg.
Yeah.
Now creme brulee, same thing. Creme brulee is made with egg.
Oh my god.
So like, you could technically creme brulee it. All you're doing is adding a layer of sugar over the top of it
Yeah.
and bruleeing
You
it.
just drizzle it and you torch it. And that's
Right.
more or less the
You
thing.
get some sugar cane, like some rock sugar.
I want to pause. This is important. I looked up this fucking recipe for how to make a creme brulee cocktail. It's up in a coupe glass.
Okay.
This is where I was like, what the fuck? 6 tablespoons of quafaba. Can any of you tell me what the fuck quafaba
Nope.
is?
No.
100% no.
Never heard of that.
Canned chickpea liquid.
Chickpea.
All right, look up a different recipe. You found the wrong recipe, homie.
Are you in creme brulee, bro.
It says creme brulee cocktail recipe. This is the second recipe I looked up.
You click the first one. You
I'm
clicked the
about-
wrong
All right,
one.
we're gonna
Hold
go
on.
back,
I'm
but what
going.
I just wanted when I saw that I was like, "What the fuck?" But it's the highest rated recipe on here.
Well,
There's a creme brulee martini and delish.com, whatever. If someone
What do you
finds a
like?
better, but this one has the layer of creme on it. This is terrible podcasting.
what do you garnish this with like fucking gypsy tears? Like, where do you get these ingredients?
I don't know where the fuck to get chickpeas liquid divided in a fucking. Are you kidding me? This is what we talked about in the previous episode. These cocktails were asking me for some shit I would never buy. What would I do with this chickpea liquid?
It's just like that recipe, the ladies from Food Network that ask you to get these like extraordinarily rare ingredients, and they're like, if you can't find that store bought's fine.
He's not
Fuck
wrong.
you.
He's not wrong. I'm looking at this 6 tablespoons of
Quafaba.
basically, yeah.
What is
chickpea-
quafaba? Google that.
It's canned chickpea liquid.
I don't even know what that means.
The fuck?
Does that mean I get the liquid from the canned chickpeas and
Yes.
pour it out?
Yes, the gandules.
So you got to buy 6 cans of chickpeas.
So bad. That's fucking. No, 6 tablespoons from you. So you buy 1 can of chickpeas, take 6 tablespoons of the liquid, do whatever you want with the chickpeas, and apparently that's part of your cocktail.
Just make some hummus, apparently.
That would make some hummus.
Yeah,
100%.
Listen, as I said, I was like, I guess I'm making hummus and a cocktail.
What else do you do with chickpeas? Quiz question, because I don't know.
I don't fucking.
I don't know of a
I just
single
eat
other
chickpeas.
dish.
All right, focus. So the rest of the cocktail is granulated sugar, ice, Irish cream, Bailey's, vanilla vodka, as much as you as expect, Frangelico, white chocolate liqueur, which apparently is a thing, vanilla
nice.
extract, and Toberner sugar, and and a cocktail shaker.
That's really annoying.
Yeah, so it is a weird, unique cocktail, but the fact that there's a creme over the top and you crack into it looks cool as hell. It looks like a fun cocktail, but it looks like over the top.
So this one,
Yeah.
the third one down looks more in line with your with bourbon and bullshit. It's 4 ounces of hot coffee, 1.5 ounces of Irish whiskey, white sugar, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and vanilla extract. An eighth of a teaspoon.
All right, well, here we are. So creme brulee, that sounds like a really good idea for a cocktail, but Cherry Lover's Manhattan is
Sounds
my
good.
favorite dessert as a cocktail.
This is delicious.
It is good.
It did not turn out bad at all. All right, guys. So, as always, once we have these little drinks of the day, we kind of say what we think, we feel how we feel. We want to go ahead and talk about some of the questions that we felt good about, right? So now it's past Thanksgiving and we're into holiday season, so I'm going to dig deep into your childhood trauma. So,
Yay!
Let's do it.
Let's get in there.
Very
but
traumatized.
we're going to start with some of the fun stuff. So, boys and girls, we're going to start with the fun one. 1v1 me, bro. So, tell me something you think that is true that you're almost going to fight anybody on it. This is for people who are listening in, a hill you're willing to die on.
Okay.
An argument that you're willing to have with anyone around you anytime when almost no one agrees with you. Richie, if anyone I think would be perfectly suited for this, the villain in our history books. Tell me yours.
Okay. Sidebar. Most people think I'm a contrarian to be contrarian, but I also went to a
You mean people who know you?
Yeah, people who know me. But I went to a law-oriented high school, and to tell you the truth, I did choose whatever wasn't being chosen because I felt it was more difficult to defend.
Objection.
I like it. But no, I thought it was more difficult to defend, and it made me a better person to be able to defend it, even if I didn't believe in it. So, for me, something that most people won't agree on, Jim and Pam were villains.
You motherfucker.
Oh, I love this one.
Okay.
Jim and Pam were villains in The Office.
Oh my god, I love this.
I've seen
There's
I've heard
no
this before.
and there's no character development there.
When you're the perfect couple, you don't need to fucking develop.
How are they the perfect couple?
I'm just kidding. I know exactly where you're going to go with this entire argument, and I can't even actually argue against it because in the beginning, they did kind of position Jim as where he had to be a piece of shit to get what he wanted. Like, he had to flirt with an engaged woman to
Granted,
try to win her
she
hand.
wasn't in an unhappy relationship. It wasn't a great relationship that she was in,
Correct.
but she was in a relationship.
She was. And so I guess that begs the question, like, if you have chemistry with a woman who's in a terrible relationship and they kind of know they want out, is it morally wrong to flirt?
No, I don't think it's morally wrong to flirt, but I think it's morally wrong to cross the line that she crossed. Because Jim
She
kissed
did
her.
tell him after.
Jim kissed her.
No, she didn't actually. She waited years, didn't she?
Jim kissed her, but she kissed back.
Yep.
Wait, it was years. Yeah, it was.
It was years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Because
Because
years.
he
Roy
didn't tell
found
him.
out after.
You
But there was
haven't
also
seen
no
it.
character development there.
I disagree a little bit.
Wait,
Okay, I'd like that.
Wait. Are we arguing the point that he's making that they were the
No,
villains, or are we
so-
arguing about the character development?
I'm arguing about the character development because honestly,
Well, I want to address the villains thing because that's the controversial statement, right?
well, so they are, but they're pitched in a sympathetic view.
They are 100. I agree. They are pitched in a sympathetic view,
Yeah.
and they are the main characters other than Michael Scott.
Yeah, they're the self-insert analog. They're the normals that exist in the world with the weirdos. So obviously you're going to identify with the Jim and the Pam. We've
Does
all
that-
been in a shit relationship. We've all liked someone who has a significant other that doesn't treat them right. You know if you ever got with them, you'd treat them right. You know? So they're the self-inserts right there.
Just a random side note. Like, so that show shit on people who are weird.
It
No.
did. It did.
No.
You just said
It
that the
didn't-
norms were the
They're just so that's just your normal, that's your nature, is that you find the cool character or the rational character. That's who you self-insert as.
I completely understand. I agree with you, but does that mean that show is essentially shitting on the weirdos?
What
These guys aren't
Dwight
normal
is
weirdos.
Dwight is literally the only person that I would
Changes
say
and
had
grows.
any character development.
And evolves. Yeah.
Evolves.
But what is? I mean, I think that begs the question: did the show need to develop its characters, or was it meant to be taken as a show that has characters that exist in a universe, and they just tell stories of those characters? Not every single show has to be about, and character starts at point A, and they end up at point, F through
That's
Z.
fair.
But, I mean, any story, a character starts at point A and ends at point B.
With this telling of the story, but not necessarily the development. Like with Seinfeld, longest running sitcom.
But that is a show glorified for being a show about nothing.
Yeah.
Correct, but the whole point of the show is that the characters don't grow. They're just shit people, and you still enjoy the show.
Yeah, but to your point, that was the point of the show. So you're saying that the point of the show, The Office, was that everyone stayed static while the other two grew?
So there's other kinds of growth among the characters, but they do maintain a majority of their personality.
Yeah.
So for instance, with Angela, she's a bitch for 99.99999% of the show until she finally caves and gets with Dwight, and then all of a sudden it kind of solves it. Could you quit playing footsie with me?
Yeah, that was
I
what I'm
felt
saying.
that.
Yeah,
And then she
I'm
magically, I got you, baby, don't worry.
yeah. Focus.
And
Focus.
then she ends up with the man of her dreams, and it fixes all of her problems. Or or Meredith, who's been an alcoholic her whole life, and then she kind of figures some stuff out, and in the end, she still enjoys her booze, but she's not fucking dying from it or anything.
Yeah.
There's not great amounts of growth, but there is some growth. But Jim and
agree.
Pam are still like if you worked in that office, you probably wouldn't like Jim and Pam. If you worked
No.
in that office,
I didn't work in that office, and I didn't like Jim and Pam. Like, I didn't like them.
I wasn't a fan.
Look, Gata just gave me the biggest look. What the fuck? I straight up thought from beginning to end the relationship was based on shitty fucking human beings, and they should have just been honest with the people they didn't want to be with from the beginning. Straight up. When like Jim led on that girl from New York or whatever office they were at,
Oh, Karen
Should have-
Filippelli?
Yep.
First of all, can we talk about what a fucking smoke show
she was fantastic.
she
Rashida
is?
Jones?
Rashida Jones is absolutely
Gorgeous.
Karen,
just a gorgeous
I felt
woman.
bad for her arc, and I'm glad she got closure
Yeah.
in that show.
She deserved better.
100%.
Significantly better. But that is one of those things I was just like, I don't understand. Like, if you don't want to be with somebody, don't be with someone. Period. It's just who I am. But in that show, she got fucking fucked over. She got made an ass
I
of.
think the
100%.
stance there was is
But then
that,
she got Parks and Rec.
And
and
the Superior Show came around. So we're gonna go on. So 1v1.
Parks and Rec is better than The Office. 100%. I will stand and die in that hell. Parks and Rec
Oh my god.
is better than The Office.
You guys are lost your minds.
What?
Parks and Rec is good.
Better than The Office.
No,
Yes, 100%.
absolutely not.
100%.
Right,
Absolutely
Right
not.
now, Kevin is shaking his fist in the air. He's like, "You sons of bitches!"
I'll shake my fist right back at him. This is the hill I'll die on.
No, he fucking loves The Office.
Good.
The Office
Thank you,
is a
Kevin.
great show. The Office is a great show. Parks and Rec
it's a
is
show.
significantly better.
The only thing that saves Parks and Rec to me is Ron Swanson.
You're crazy.
That's it.
You're crazy.
He
That's
is the
it.
like
You're
if you,
crazy.
if you could grab
Oh
him.
Are you crazy? Chris Traeger?
Chris Trigger's awesome.
Chris Traeger?
He's not as good as the Office.
Andy Dwyer's hilarious.
He is funny,
What
but
is
he's
he-
not as good as the characters. in
Wait,
the
Aubrey
Office.
Plaza's character?
Audrey
Look,
Plaza.
the best thing that came from Parks and Rec was the comeback clip.
Oh, that doesn't
That's
even
an
make
outtake,
the.
but it is
Yeah, it's
fucking,
an outtake.
But I fucking died.
You're crazy, bro. You have
I
to
know which one
rewatch that show and rewatch The Office. I guarantee you'll have more laughs watching Parks and
Just a
Rec.
side note, one of my favorite moments is they were doing an interview with a writer from Parks and Rec, and he asked him about him, like, hey, what's the funniest thing that happened in the show? What's the funny? He's like, you know what's really pisses me off? One of the funniest moments on the show is completely ad-libbed by a Chris Pratt, and it was when Leslie Knope was sick as a dog, and Andrew Dwight.
It says you have server issues.
He's like, hey Leslie, I typed your symptoms into the computer, and it says you have server like 404 server issues.
That made me snore.
and it was completely ad libbed because the computers aren't on. The computers don't have internet; they're props. But he got the server issues, and he used it as a line. And the writer's like, you know what? That fucking pisses me off because it's funnier. I go to school for this shit.
Yeah.
This man
Honestly,
walks up there.
the improv in those shows,
Yeah.
I would like. So there's the episode in The Office where Kevin sits on Michael Scott's lap. It's an improv
It's improv,
episode.
yeah.
So normally they pan to Jim. If you watch that episode over, Jim is nowhere to be found because
He's laughing.
he could not control how much he was laughing. He looked at them and said no, and he got out of the room because he could not stop laughing at how Steve Carell was improving each situation where Kevin was sitting on his lap.
There was, I love that shit. It's always great to catch comedians break character. SNL does it all the time.
SNL.
yeah.
My favorite was Stefan with Bill Hader.
Oh my
Whenever he
God.
has to do Weekend Update as Stefan, and they made him just. I'm pretty sure they never showed him those cue cards, and he had to read them, and he just covered his face and was dead.
Yeah.
Just
Those are
dying.
some of my favorite clips of SNL. I think it's a different set of guys here, but it's when they write each other's headlines
Oh yes,
and they have to
Oh,
read them
that's
for one
Mike,
another.
Sarah, and someone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Those shits.
Michael Shea and
Never seen
is Jose. It's one of the Jose brothers.
Yeah, I don't know their names, but those shits they'll just pop up in your feed or whatever, and every time it's just worth sitting through it because you know they do some
100%.
ridiculous
Especially
shit.
because Michael Shea writes the most racist shit for
Oh,
college.
He has to
my
sit there and read these
God.
like this like whitewashed dude read this shit, and he's like,
He-
"Bro, you're gonna be killed."
He does that shit. Like I remember, it was like they said something super racist about Superman, and I was like,
Oh
this-
my god! It's the one with about Man of Steel.
Yes.
And his like steel spelled STEAL.
Oh my God. I remember that. That is so fucking awful. So there's Michael Shea and Jost. Jost.
Colin Jost, yeah.
Colin Jost.
that's it.
Yeah,
His
Colin
brother's
Jost,
on Impractical Jokers. That's why I say he's his
the
brother.
Jost brother. But fuck, how the fuck did we get here? Where were we? Because we just went on a
talking
little
I
about
office.
called Pam and Jim a villain.
Oh, there we go. All right, back.
Fucking nonsense.
So yeah. So you call that a 1v1 me, and that's a
I'll die on that hill.
So for anyone who does not know me, I straight up did a 35-minute presentation in front of our group of friends about why they were shitty people.
I stood by you. I stood by your
Yeah,
side.
I did a 35-minute presentation, and I listed like 27 points.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not doing that
I'll
here.
shoot them down one by one.
No. I mean, Pam blamed Jim for his parents' divorce, even though that they were shitty parents. But even though it wasn't his fault that their relationship was on the rocks well before that he met them. But
Pam
that's
didn't trust Jim.
ever.
You can't just say that.
No,
Pam did not trust Jim.
You know why I could say that?
Why?
So we're gonna move on.
Oh, the turkey's giving us our cue.
The turkey gave us the cue. We're moving on. Do you have a 1v1 me?
I do not. I don't have any super controversial opinions that I want to punch you in the throat.
Oh my God, we're not punching anybody in the throat. We're friends here. No one punches anyone in the throat. We aren't Jim and Pam, who are terrible human beings. We're good people. So since we don't have a 1v1 me, Gata, I sent you a couple questions, and we talked about the don't judge me. We talked about I don't want to grow up. I think I want to talk about the more childhood stories that are fond. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yep.
What was the fondest childhood memory and why? Or what was the most important lesson that you learned in life in the past decade of your life? And how did
man.
you apply it?
So my fondest childhood memory actually revolves around I believe it was my 12th birthday. So I don't know how many people have a ton of background on me, but I grew up in like a little small town in Georgia. Family really didn't have a lot of means, a lot of stuff available to them. So I remember on my 12th birthday, my mom puts us in the car and she takes me to the city. And if you're from a small town, going to the city always means something. Not quite sure. And we get to the mall, and my dad is there. And I'm like, what's going on? Because Dad was supposed to be at work. It's like a Wednesday or whatever. And we go into GameStop, and he gets me a PS2. And I had never in my life have I had like the current game console. And he got me the PS2, and he got me Metal Gear Solid 2.
It's the best Metal Gear.
Incorrect, Metal Gear Solid 3, but it's okay.
Sons of Liberty over
Snake Eater over Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty.
Bro, you're just factually incorrect.
I played that whole game and lost my mind.
Hey,
wow!
Don't make me get the turkey. Let this man finish.
Don't do it now.
Don't do it. I will get the goddamn turkey. Go ahead and finish.
No, but it was just maybe the fondest thing I remember is because it was just the maybe the greatest. I remember what my dad had to do to earn, what it took to buy a PlayStation 2 back in 2004 or whatever, 2005, and it just left such an impression on me that they got me this really, really, really great gift, and I had never had anything like that before. It was such a big thing that I remember getting that 20 years later, and it's just such a impactful memory for me. And I think very shortly before that, I found out I was adopted and everything, so it was kind of like a big thing.
All right, so you this is deep.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel like they were like, hey, we just broke some news that you might not be too fond of, and they hooked you up?
No. It was. I mean, I say shortly. It was in that kind of era of my life, but not like days or anything.
Okay, when you said shortly, I was like, I don't know. Did you say shortly?
I would have played that up for more than that. I'd have gotten a whole lot.
I feel like you should have been like, hey man, listen.
No, it was a kind of
a little more than a PS2.
I need 2 memory cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Crazy Taxi. I'm gonna need Final Fantasy X.
I need the new Madden as well.
No, that NCAA football.
So do your parents know that memory stood out so much to you and that you appreciated that work that your dad did?
I'm not sure, honestly. I feel like
have
my
you ever
reaction.
Shared that with them?
No, I don't spend a lot of time talking to my parents.
This isn't like us on the couch again because that was that's a bonus episode.
Hey-o.
But you haven't really about telling them that?
Maybe I should. I mean, it'd probably mean a lot to them to know that was like a memory that left such a big impact on me in my life.
Because no one, memory. I mean, we're sitting here, no one else knows this, but like you're smiling, like this made you. Yeah. You could tell the difference in like how you just sat there, like with the,
dude. It was a big time for me. It was a huge event.
But it wasn't about the video game. It was like you knew about their work. Yeah,
yeah. And they got me the PS2 that had the fucking like online connections, so I could play Final Fantasy 11.
Are you dang?
They went all out. They went ham.
I remember that
big ass black chunk that just hunked on the back there.
Yep.
Look, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life, but I think that's something you probably share the next
share
time.
moment.
You should
on
probably
dial-up.
Yeah, you should probably.
Maybe I should.
You should probably share that moment. Like, hey, do what the fuck you want. You're grown.
No, you're right. Cool. It hasn't crossed my mind to really tell that to them
because like we talked about it in earlier part of this episode when you get older and you realize the sacrifices parents made.
100%.
You realize that there's a little bit, and at least for me, I'm not speaking for anyone else, little ungrateful or unrealizing because you're ignorant to that, right? The parent's job is not to always tell you every fucking thing that they sacrifice for you.
Yeah.
At least, ideally, you're not supposed to be guilt tripped every time they do something for you. You're supposed to, they allow you to be a kid and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're an adult and you're like, holy shit.
That was a big deal.
You do the math. How many hours a day did my father have to bust his ass to get my dumbass a video game that
I mean, it was one of the GOAT video games, MGS2. He did an all around spectacular job that day.
But kids don't understand that shit.
Correct.
Right? We don't understand money.
No, 100%.
I mean, I as a dude, I barely understand how much it costs for groceries now.
Bro,
groceries ain't no joke, man.
Dog,
I don't shop in Publix unless it's BOGO.
But you remember as a kid, like you just fucking ate whatever. Like, oh, I don't want to eat this. Blah 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 blah. Or you could be picky eater. Meanwhile, your mom, or mom and dad, or whatever your family dynamic was, mom and mom. It's 2023. You don't know what they fucking went through to get that shit on the table. Like,
speaking to that, I found a welfare card, old school laminated welfare card.
Nice. Yeah.
When I was like 17, I was in 11th grade, and I was like, we were on welfare?
Yes.
Like, when was this?
Yeah, man.
Bro, so I think parents do a really good job at, mine did anyways, of not really making you aware how bad the struggle was.
Yeah,
100%.
So because my dad was a single income household. My mom, she's had epilepsy So she's never really been able to hold down a job. So she did
Yeah.
what she could at home, holding down, like doing the house stuff.
And
you
that's
know?
and big shouts to your mom.
That's a
because
full-time job
that-
and
dead
dangerous
ass.
if you
Yeah.
have epilepsy.
100%.
Yeah.
She's gotten into car crashes and stuff. So like,
That's right.
I understand it. But as a result of that medical condition, we were never able to have like a dual income household. So my dad was always single household. He had 3 kids. I was like the first of the 3, but I was like adopted by him. So it was just like a whole one income taking care of 5 people. Like
It's fucking tough.
Could you, if one income right now, like I struggle to take care of just me and my wife, much less my child. But he did that plus an extra 2.
Yeah.
So like, dude, that just as I grow older and I see what that is, and I see what an actual running your household looks like, and I'm aware there's some economic differences between now and like 2004, 2002, whatever.
But that doesn't discredit what they did.
Correct.
Because back then, the means to be able to get that income was still kind of tough.
Yeah.
To this, nowadays, you can do 2 remote jobs and chill at home and just click at the keyboard. Back then, moms and dads were working at warehouses and stuff like that and going crazy about how much time they're spending, basically sweatshop conditions of shit. So it's a little bit different, right? So I understand we're not here for the whole debate about whether they had it easy or not compared to us. It's not what we're trying to do. But I do find it interesting that when you get older, you break that down a little bit, do the math, do the fucking pay by hour type of shit. And you realize, holy crap, my mom and dad were
They had to work their
killing
asses off for
themselves.
it.
Meanwhile, I could fucking just give some plasma and I could get a PlayStation 5. I don't know.
Dude, I gotta start doing that, man. Plasma gives a shit ton of money.
Oh, plasma does.
Hashtag en esa
in
economía.
college, I had a couple of friends that did that, and they did it to make the rent, but it's a big thing.
But I mean, still, just like going a couple times, like once or twice a month.
Yeah.
That's a couple extra hundo in the pocket.
To speak to your, giving a shout out to your parents and stuff like that. Every time I took my grandmother and my mother out to eat, or my father out to eat, I made sure to always thank them, and I was like, listen, it's not something that I said a lot as a kid, as a child, but I appreciate how much you did.
Yeah.
And I would pay for their meal, just like, then I didn't understand it, but now I do.
Yeah. And I'll be the first to tell you that my mom and I beef way more than we should. It's stupid beef. I like
It always
family
is.
beef,
it's
bro.
always,
It always
it's family
is.
beef. Like I could talk shit about my mom, but let any motherfucker talk shit about my mom.
Oh, it's over. You said it on them.
Like, I just turned. What the fuck did you just say?
That's that tribalism we touched on a bit earlier,
Yeah.
right? That's my sister. I can talk shit about
Yeah,
my
that's,
sister.
That's my family.
Don't step to her though, because you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble.
100%.
I will stab you in the face right now, and I will do it in front of people and smile. You
Yeah,
deserve
you're
it.
smiling about it.
I'm going to jail. Guess what? My sister's okay, though.
Dude, talk shit though.
Listen, so as we're getting a little heavier, our glasses are getting a little lighter. We're going to take a quick break. I promise you we'll be back with a little bit more questions about, just more shit that's going to make you think. All right, we'll be right back, guys. Hey, guys, while you're listening to the show, I know that you guys want to join in a little bit with us and pouring something up. Here at the show, we ask that you guys drink responsibly and do the right thing. Don't drink and drive. Avoid Amazon one-click buying, and I promise you, you do not need to text your ex. But all jokes aside, do the right thing, don't be dumb, and be safe. Thanks, guys. And now, let's get back to the show. All right, boys and girls. So we are back. And while we were listening to that beautiful commercial,
Did you really bring this out?
I revealed
I fucking hate
our
you.
greatest.
This is awful.
I revealed. Do you not speak while this is happening? You not speak. So, boys and girls, Formula Richie, our villain in our history books, has said, I really want to try that candy corn whiskey that you poured out for everyone else but me. So, even though Dave just complicated things by pouring everything out of the Guntheran glass into whatever. So we're going to pour up a little bit of candy corn whiskey, and we're going to have these boys try it in real time. I was going to pour it into these glasses. You just made it weird.
Oh,
Hold
watch
on.
this. I can do this.
Hold on. I want you to alert the audience to what else you pulled out.
Oh, no.
Shit.
No. We're
I've
gonna
never
get there.
seen whiskey in this color.
Oh, we're not. It's for later. It's a tool for later. But it's a tool for later. So I just want you to know that when I am a man of my word, and when I tell people that I will get you back for doing something to me, things go full circle.
I'm
But we'll
so
get there.
sorry though. This is years later.
Why do you own this?
We're gonna get there. So very first, we're gonna go ahead and pour up this candy corn whiskey. I did hit up the distillers of this, and I would love to interview them. I honest to God love their fucking product, and I want to hear more about their story, why they made this, and
What is it like? Number one question: why?
Yeah, no, but here's the thing, and I will tell you something funny about this. It actually tastes good, but you tell me.
Smells like candy corn.
You tell me what you think. Gata, we're going to let you go first, but cheers, boys and girls, to everyone who is.
It
This
smells
has
like
been
candy corn.
not the official sponsor, but I will gladly take more bottles.
Well,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Apologize.
it tastes like candy corn.
How? How do they do it?
I don't know how I feel about it.
You don't know how you feel about liquid candy corn?
I don't like candy corn really.
Ah, you're not going to like it. But
I
overall,
mean, I don't have a dislike towards candy corn. This is not like a thing that I purchase. I mean, if you serve, this is not a bad drink. First of all,
yeah.
it's wrong. It shouldn't exist.
It's blasphemous.
Yeah.
I honestly really enjoyed it because it was so spot on, and it feels almost like it's going to be worse than it is. I expected
Yeah.
like a fireball, some trash, but whoever the company who made this obviously did some good work.
I bet that'd be good mixed with Fireball.
I think that there's a lot to be said that you can make some cocktails out of this, and I might fuck around with what's left of it and just experiment. Maybe make a candy corn old fashioned. I don't know.
Something cinnamony would really do something nice with that, like a Fireball, obviously.
Yeah. We can fuck around and find out. But Richie, since you requested this, how did you feel?
You bitch.
It's so good. It is literally, if you want to get tipsy and eat candy corn at the same time, I highly recommend it.
Who is ever one of those two things on their list?
It's an American dream, isn't it? This is
It really is the American dream.
I'm here to do two things.
And I understand
get
that,
tipsy and eat candy
the
corn.
spectrum for candy corn is either you really love it or you really hate it. But I am on the spectrum side that I really love it, and I do like whiskey. So like,
I think we're all a little bit on the
I
spectrum.
would drink
into that.
I would drink a gallon of this before I would drink a gallon of Fireball.
Ooh.
Oh my god, Fireball is terrible.
It is, and that's why I would drink a gallon of
Fireball's
candy
just
corn
not
whiskey.
bad to shoot. That's the benefit of Fireball.
This
Is
is
it's
not
a-
bad
it's
to
a
shoot.
decent
So you're
shot.
telling me 2 ounces of Fireball is easier than 2 ounces of this?
Oh, as far as like a shoot, no. It's this is simpler because it doesn't have that big red taste to it, which kind of makes the back of your throat annoying.
I hate Big
Did
Red.
you remember? Do you remember when you either were a spearmint, Big Red, or Juicy Fruit kid?
Winter Fresh.
You had to pick. Yeah.
Dentine ice all day, baby.
Who the fuck? Where
I
did
didn't
you
have
grow up?
Dentine Ice money, bro.
Yeah, I was like, you silver
Yeah,
spoon.
give me that quarter
do you think
Winter Fresh.
Do you think 11-year-old me was paying for bubble gum?
Oh, okay. That.
Was that something you thought I was doing?
All right, so
I had
Awesome.
newsstands. They watched us.
So while we are drinking or finishing up, kind of just dealing with whatever just happened to our stomachs with this candy corn whiskey, we are going to do our namesake and talk about This Is Bullshit. So Formula or Richie, you have This Is Bullshit, a wild or ludicrous story or personal story that you want to discuss, and you said this is going to be a doozy. So I'm actually kind of excited and concerned all at the same time. Go ahead.
So, for those of you in the audience that do have children,
Oh God.
I'm
and not
scared.
even
This is
like,
where we're starting.
and for the gentlemen in the audience that do enjoy chicken nuggets,
The fuck are we going?
That's a Venn diagram that almost exclusively overlaps.
it does. That's why you're 100% correct.
It's only
just
chicken
a
nuggets.
circle.
It's men that like chicken nuggets and families that have children, and it interlaps in the middle. There was 30,000 pounds of Tyson Dino chicken nuggets that were recalled
Nice.
because they had metal in them.
Metal?
Pieces of metal
What
that
metal?
were described as small and pliable, but caused an oral injury. So 30,000 pounds of Tyson chicken nuggets were recalled from 9 different states.
Small and pliable but causes an oral injury.
So one oral injury has already happened.
There's a dick joke there somewhere.
But 9 different states had these chicken nuggets, Dino chicken nuggets. Like I said, kids love dinosaur chicken nuggets, and so do
I mean,
most
so
guys.
do I.
Yeah, so do most adult men for some odd reason. But
Because we're children.
they intersect, and like I said,
All right. So
it's
how many
crazy.
pounds?
30,000 pounds.
So each bag of Tyson chicken nuggets is
September
2 pound
4th.
bag. It's a 2 pound bag.
Yes,
That's 15,000
29 ounce,
bags.
29 ounce,
bags. All
Yeah.
right.
29 ounce packages of Dino chicken nuggets of Tyson that had this best buy date of September 4th, 2024 were recalled.
This
So-
would be a bad time to mention my son's diet is 85% dinosaur chicken nuggets.
It is a fantastic time to text your wife. to
Do
tell
we
her
have Tyson chicken nuggets?
He's got the Jurassic Park ones, so I think we're all
it's
good.
sad. It's sad, but also it leads me to like think that once again, like in a dark humor sense, like how much did we eat as children
Oh,
that
before
we
people were paying
didn't,
attention?
that the FDA didn't give a shit about?
Why do you think half of us are on the spectrum? What are
That-
you talking
that,
about?
that FDA didn't give a shit about. They're like, oh, okay, one kid chewed on some metal and is not feeling well. How much did the FDA let slide?
Oh,
But,
my-
so if our parents would have known about it, would they have given a shit?
Listen, this was the
No,
same.
you
gener-
gonna finish these chicken
Yeah,
nuggets.
you gonna fucking deal with it. First
This
You
of all,
gonna finish these chicken
Hey,
I pay
nuggets?
for these nuggets.
This is also the generation that allowed secondhand smoke with kids around for no good reason. It's
Dude,
like,
who
oh,
you tell? You used to have smoking sections in restaurants.
Did you say secondhand smoke? I had aunt smoke while pregnant.
Yes, I've seen that shit too.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's
I
wild.
remember the first time I had to tell my mom, I was like, please don't smoke in front of me. She's like, excuse me? I was like, I'm just...
Oh no, there was no telling our aunts that it
Oh,
was no
hell
smoke.
no.
It was like go out. We just went outside.
that com-
they wouldn't go out.
That,
You would.
That conversation did not go well physically from my body. So I didn't...
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I didn't say... I got beat. Don't tell her where to be. But you're right, man. How many fucking things did we eat that was crazy?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many things that the FDA just let slide that?
How many things did
Probably
they
were
currently
harmful
let
to us.
slide?
But that's what I'm saying. They're not currently letting. I don't think they're currently letting stuff slide.
What's the dollar
new
amount
dirt.
you have to slide their way to make them not announce something?
That's rough. I mean, shoot.
I mean, there's people finding like body parts
This
and
is
shit. They're
this
chicken
is 30. I mean, we all remember the Wendy's with the
with
finger.
the fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the fingers. But this is 30,000 pounds that they recalled. That's a big.
Yeah.
That's a big from 9 different states.
How many chickens is that? What's your average chicken weigh?
And I just want to know where the metal came from.
Probably one of the machines that processes because you're getting all the shit from the chicken.
And
the
I'm
chicken
okay
nugget.
with that. But they said it was pliable. Look up the definition of pliable, listeners. That's not. That means that it's
It's flexible.
Flexible.
It can move around.
it can move around.
What kind of metals move around? What metals are soft enough?
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
Aluminum is on the softer side. Some copper. What like a nickel? No, nickel's pretty hard.
No, nickel's hard. Yeah.
I just want to... Are we ready for this rabbit hole?
Please, let's go down.
Uh-oh.
So,
dig in.
So 9 things... Oh, my God. 9 things that the FDA allows in few foods that contain certain
Oh,
things.
that's like
I know
bug
that
parts and shit.
So-
they
the-
allow certain, especially in peanut butter, they
Hey,
allow a certain
hey,
amount of bug
don't-
parts.
Don't give me the turkey. like,
it away.
first and foremost is insect parts, to your
Yep.
point.
Yep.
Yep.
The FDA allows few
Yep.
foods that contain whole insects, but insect parts, that's normal for them. Heads, legs, and other fragments of these little pests are more commonly allowed in foods, according to the handbook of theirs. For example, ground cinnamon can contain 400 insect fragments per 50 grams. Ground, yes.
That's a lot
having
of
trouble-
fragments.
So 1,000.
How much is a gram?
I don't know, but I'm not comfortable with doing that math. 1,175 insect fragments per 10 grams. So a typical cinnamon jar
Per
holds...
10?
I'm getting there. A typical cinnamon jar holds about 42 grams.
What the fuck?
A typical McCormick container of ground cinnamon is 18 grams. So there's 4 times the amount. So about 5,000 insect fragments could be accepted in your container of cinnamon.
Dog. My wife made French toast today.
Rodent number two on that list. Rodent poop.
Yep.
I mean, some of this is gross,
sense.
but just makes sense.
It makes sense.
Fennel seeds, ginger, and mace, a spice that is similar to nutmeg, can all contain an average of 3 milligrams of mammal poop per pound. For sesame seeds, the limit is a smidgen higher, up to 5
Mammal
milligrams.
poop.
Mammal poop.
You realize we're mammals.
I understand.
Let's do what they do on the Discovery Channel.
Oh, insect heads, which is very featured. Mold, mites. So living
like
insects.
mites,
Yeah, those are
yeah.
real.
This is the one that made me cringe. Maggots. So maggots are allowed in a slew of tomato products, including canned tomatoes, up to 1 maggot per 500 grams. And tomato juice and tomato paste is up to 1 maggot per 100 grams for both. For brined maraschino cherries, that's why I made a face. A sample is considered okay if FDA eyes, as long as no more than 5% of the cherries are rejected for containing maggots.
And you just fed us a cherry drink, motherfucker?
Bro, that was a
That's
cherry
disrespectful.
Manhattan, bro.
That's disrespectful, man.
That's why I went, are you guys ready?
I'm going to just chain you in a basement and feed you cherries all the time.
Oh my God. So maggots, pits, it says like foreign matter, so cigarette butts, blah, blah, blah. Apparently they see that very often. Burlap bagging, sticks, stones, break your bones.
Oh.
And yeah, just random shit like that. These are things accepted because of
These are the things that you got to think about it like this.
Statistics, not statistical.
These are the things that are actually quantified that are accepted.
Yeah.
Think about this. Think about the people that are picking your apples, picking your lettuce,
Picking their
your
asses.
vegetables. There are no porta potties. There are no bathrooms out there. I learned that while I was working in
Statistically,
the food
nothing
industry.
is as sterile as you would like to
All
think it
right.
is.
So, so as that's going on, we're about to pour up our next drink. So, guys, this is where you find out I'm petty. So let me tell you a story about a girl.
Drown a river and drown the whole world.
So a couple years ago, I was hosting a poker night, and Formula or Richie, and everyone asked, "Hey, what should I bring?" And I said, "Bring a bottle of whiskey. We're gonna be making old fashions and drinking all night." So a buddy brings a Booker's, a buddy brings an Angel's Envy, a buddy brings a Rittenhouse. Everyone brings something nice, and this piece of human filth
This is why I'm the villain.
walks in with something I did not know existed. It is a Pat's Blue Ribbon whiskey.
Yo, fuck this guy.
PBR, baby.
Fucking hipster whiskey?
So I'm going to tell you some more about this, but fuck you, Richie, is how we're going to start this
Listen,
conversation.
I'm just saying
So-
that I didn't think that this would come back to bite me in the ass, but apparently.
So Pat's Blue Ribbon, the reason why it exists, it is a fuck you to the whiskey companies.
It really is.
So Pat's Blue Ribbon made this bottle of whiskey that is aged 5 seconds.
5 seconds. I could have told you that. I did read it before
but-
I purchased it.
So the reason why they did this, they came out with this, was they wanted to create a spirit that tasted like whiskey, but didn't need all the huss and fuss of being aged for a long time. But you couldn't call it anything other than moonshine then, or white dog, or white lightning. But they said
White Lightning.
this tastes better than that. This is whiskey.
Is this just shine?
No, it's whiskey. It's a whiskey, man.
Explain.
So this is where the rule is. So for anyone who does not know, whiskey has to be aged in white oak barrels, American oak barrels, and just aged. They never wrote a fucking time limit.
Oh,
They
my
did not
God,
write
that
a time
explains.
limit.
So the 5 seconds. So they basically made a chute created of whiskey
It
barrels.
just rides through the whiskey
rides
barrels.
through the whiskey barrels, but it has to be so it's there for 5 seconds and rides to the bottom.
Fucking loopholes, man.
So the distiller of this said, "No, this stuff is good. People enjoy it, but if you classify it as moonshine, no one will buy it. If you classify it as white dog, no one will buy it. This is whiskey." And Jacob Best was a German immigrant who went to Milwaukee to brew beer in 1844 with his sons. This endeavor would eventually end up in releasing Pat's Blue Ribbon, as we know, and shouts to Johnny for throwing bottles of that. The beer could be seen in resurgence in popularity, coming out of left field for many hipsters wanting to get the shit. They didn't write that, I did. The mash bill is made consists of ingredients Best would have had access to 1844 for this whiskey. But to avoid being classified as moonshine, the company ages it for 5 seconds in a barrel, thus allowing it to be classified as whiskey by the Alcohol and Tobacco Trade and Tax Bureau. Of course. Pabst Blue Ribbon whiskey is being produced and collaborated with New Holland Brewing. So the company states that they created this whiskey to be drunk, not judged, just like our beers.
PBR is such shit, though.
PBR will get you drunk,
Yeah, a lot of stuff gets you drunk.
but PBR will get you drunk and cheaply.
Natty Light gets you drunk and cheaply. Doesn't mean it's not shit.
I'm not with your natter days, bro.
Natter days now. They fuck.
Now listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'll have you know that this bottle here has a wax seal. There's a wax seal on this bottle.
It's been broken. I'm
No,
surprised
no,
it's
no,
not.
look. It's still wax seal.
I'm surprised
wax,
it's not a twist top.
wax seal. And I'll have you know that I left this here for G to enjoy, and apparently he has not enjoyed it since the day that I brought it.
I told you we would drink it together.
Why'd you include me? I never once agreed to this.
So I felt it
Boys, let's pour it up.
I felt it only appropriate to, when we finally have Richie on a show of Bourbon and Bullshit, is to bring
You're
the
rude.
whiskey bottle that he bought me.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I've had it.
Give me
That's
this
a
bottle.
lot.
I'm not letting you
might
pour
wanna
mine.
split
I'm
this.
not letting you pour mine.
You might wanna split this with me.
So the petty part
Sorry.
of me, if anyone who knows me, this is what I do. I will hold grudges and remember the shit, but I am not going to ever let you live down this in the movie The Terrifier, you asshole. So
You
we're
made me watch Thanksgiving.
yeah, and then you maybe watch The Terrifier and you fell asleep. But the mash
That
bill
was good sleep too.
is 52% corn, 27 malted barley,
Oh, it smells like
17% whiskey.
It's not good, man.
Shut up. And 4% rye. It's a 40% alcohol by volume. It's an 80 proof, so it should drink smoother. Where when you think of those white dogs, is going to be a lot higher. So let's go into this with an open mind and
Open minds, guys.
But
I got you, bro.
I'm getting the sweats
Wait.
thinking about this,
Have
man.
some
but
faith.
let's be clear. Fuck Richie.
Cheers
to be sure.
to PBR, y'all.
That's not what I said.
Oh, God.
Oh, it smells corny.
That's so smooth. It's so smooth. It's smoother than I remember.
That tastes more like corn than candy corn to whiskey. Oh God,
I'm a fan. Can I have this back?
no. I mean, yes.
It was a gift.
It tastes like swamp ass.
It's awful. It's awful, but it's smooth. It's smooth. It's smooth.
It is smooth.
And
But it's like
in the
swallowing
words,
a smooth
In the
turd.
words of Dave Chappelle's Sam Jackson, it'll get you drunk.
Eventually, anything will get you drunk. All right, so that was a bit of a joke, and welcome, Richie. You deserve this
I
one.
hate you for this.
Why do you hate me for this? You bought.
This
you
is a
literally bought
This
this
was
bottle.
a
Clear.
gift for
And
you
that
to
means-
enjoy.
And I am enjoying it with the person who gave it to me. And here we
Who
are,
buys clear whiskey?
guys.
Oh, I
for-
saw it
for-
and I grabbed it immediately.
Donald Glover would not approve.
For anyone, obviously, who didn't just Google what the fuck Pat's Blue Ribbon whiskey looks like, it is a straight up clean. It looks like water.
It's completely clear.
Complete. There's not a single tinge of aging. to
Don't
it.
buy it.
Don't ever buy this shit.
Oh, don't spend the money on it. But if you ever happen to
You want to troll your friend?
troll your friends and give them a little gift,
What a great-
I think
what a
it, I
great
think it costed me at the time $15 or $20.
I'm glad that that's what the fuck I meant.
The,
but
the wax seal was $4.99 of that, so
Bro, there's a wax seal on it. It's got to be legit.
say no, it's good.
that's
wax.
exactly how you know it's fucking awful. They,
It's legit.
I
I
bet the
hate you.
bottling
God,
process
I
is
don't-
2/3 of the cost
yeah. It's just fucking awful.
because it is honestly, it's packaged quite nicely.
Yeah, if this
The packaging costs more than a whiskey.
100%.
But
It's
here-
got a wax seal on it. It's got a wax seal in the cap.
So here's the thing, right? So as I looked online and I wanted to shit on it all over it. They even self-identify as this is not necessarily meant for you to drink straight. Suited
What do you
more for
mix this with?
This is suited for cocktails, because cocktails mask a lot of.
You
that
can
taste.
literally mix this with anything and it'll be better. It'll make it 100% better.
Yeah.
This was some Coca-Cola.
100%
Mountain Dew?
better.
Well, when you start here,
You mix it with seltzer water, 100% better.
I will get salsa
seltzer
waters.
water shit.
I like
But
I
I
like
did-
my bubbly waters.
I did want to bring it up and bring this bottle in, and basically there's one overall thing that we have to agree with: the distiller saying, "All right, You won't call it whiskey?
Oh, the
Fine.
audacity is fantastic.
Yeah, the audacity.
Just straight up, they have aged 5 seconds on the label.
The
It's kind
effort
of a
to
fuck
go
you.
out of your way to create a very unique system to age it for 5 seconds, so you can tell the taxman and all the whiskey people there. It's called whiskey.
I'm pretty sure you know how they did it, right? They filled a barrel, then they saw how long it took to basically empty the barrel,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, so everything that travels through here will be 5 seconds.
I'm almost imagining one long barrel shoot
I had like
from where it's dumped from the top right into like.
I had like a
everything.
straw made out of wood in my head. That's what I had pictured.
This sounds like that old school game with a mousetrap game. like, I love it.
That game rocked, man.
Hey, man.
But cheers to at least
Cheers.
having a fucking memory where I don't want to remember this. But
Look, and the next time you open this, it'll still be at that line right there.
the next time I
Yeah,
open it, you'll
3 to
probably
6
still be in the
years.
room.
Yep, I'll be in the room again.
Every time he comes over, you have to find a reason to break it out.
So speaking of bullshit, and we talked about bullshit as stories and crazy stuff going on, this is how we got in a tangent about food and what the FDA is accepting of safe levels of metal, apparently, in Dino Chicken Nuggets. I had a story that I know a lot of people heard of back in the day, but I wanted to revisit it because when I said it to someone at work, they had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. And that story is about the conspiracy theory about this U.S. 31-year-old champion chess player, Magnus Carlsen. Wait. Let me go back. In a shock upset, 19-year-old Hans Niemann from U.S. defeated 31-year-old world champion Magnus Carlsen from Norway on September 4th. And the thing is that people said, I don't understand how Hans got so good. And people started theorizing, and you know what the theory was, boys and girls? That's right. You guessed it, anal beads.
Anal beads. They solve everything.
Is that what we guessed?
A lot of peace will be brought if people have more anal beads.
So yes. So what people were saying was that Hans Niemann was being helped with a wireless anal bead that would vibrate inside of him to help him make the correct moves. They said they were like match. I don't know where this came from, but this is a legitimate thing that challenges all his undefeated games, everything that he was doing for so long, so well. Because if you ever watch these chess games, they're watched. Everything. Their hands are being watched. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. Their
They
hands.
take it very seriously.
Yeah. This isn't no Astro
Fucking
situation.
nerds.
Or what's the team that cheated a couple years ago during the pandemic for baseball, where they were hearing the knocks and that would
The
tell them what the
Astros.
yeah.
Fuck the Astros.
Fuck
Yeah.
the Astros.
Go Braves.
Yeah, so it wasn't
the
something like
Braves.
that. So Carlsen played just one move, but blah, reassigned the webcam. The gesture was seen as an act of protest. I don't know. But overall, the theory has picked up a lot of steam. And when he was asked if he had used wireless anal beads to
They
help
make them
him cheat.
wireless now?
Yeah, vibrating.
When
yeah.
have you ever had wired anal beads, homie?
Yeah, I was
I'm just saying, like,
Do you
no,
plug
wait.
yours into the wall?
no, I'm just saying, like, we've.
He's talking about
gradual-
Bluetooth enabled.
Bluetooth
wireless.
enabled anal beads?
Yeah. There's an
Dude,
app
if
for
they
that.
have fucking apps that make like they can have little lady toys that you can control from your phone, of course they have
Makes
the
sense.
opposite
You're right.
option.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So these vibrating anal beads, I also want to know what kind of Morse code they were speaking about, but
They were buzzing in Morse code for the anal beads?
that's what I'm saying.
That makes me so
The
fucking
theory
happy.
is that someone's like vibrate twice for like this piece or whatever the fuck it was. So I don't know what happened, but the team says that he has not cheated recently. Apparently, there was a time where he did cheat.
With anal beads.
Make them sit on a steel chair. You just
They said if they
Just
want,
hear
if they want, he says, and I quote, if they want me to strip fully naked, I will do it. I don't care because I know I am clean.
prison
Newman
pocket.
told the St. Louis Chess Club, because I didn't know this is that big of a deal. You want me to play in a closed box with zero electric transmission? I don't care. I'm here to win. That is my goal regardless. You know for a fact that was going to make you sit down there naked. Look,
Has homie never heard of a cock ring?
He
Like,
likes the other
why did he go
side.
straight to butt stuff? Like he
He
could at
likes
least.
the other side,
It
bro.
could have been cool. He could have had a decent time with it.
we're in 2023. I don't kink shame. I think anal beads maybe. Was there like a section?
Maybe he
It's
had a
all-
sensation. Maybe
You
it
trying
was-
to have a blast off while you're out there fucking
no,
playing
no,
chess?
No, I'm not saying that. It's like I'm assuming there's more surface area. So if you say rook, it'll be the second bead.
Oh, I'm not trying to have somebody.
I love
vibrate my
I love
erogenous-
chess. So like I get what he's saying. Maybe it's like rook king, or like queen to pawn or whatever. I get it.
I think you could diversify your transmission through anal beads, where like a cock ring is the same.
But do you have
vibration.
to vibrate on my erogenous zone while I'm trying to focus?
I mean,
Like I know it's a sick joke that ours is up our ass.
yeah,
At that
But they're,
point,
like, trying to hit my G-spot.
somebody else is playing the game for him.
yeah. Someone's playing. Yeah, and that's
So you don't need a focus. So
Yeah,
like
you just
you're
have-
just
you
getting
just-
buzzed. You're like, okay, 3 buzzes. Okay, I take rook to pawn,
Okay, I'm gonna
rook
win this
to
game.
bishop.
so overall.
Fuck that.
All that to say, I found this story goofy as shit, but the lengths, and that's where it opens it up. The lengths people will go to win, to be the best at something. If you're at this cusp of being the champion, and you need a little edge,
You little anal bead action.
are anal beads the way? So, Gad, I'm gonna ask you to your face.
All right.
If there is something you are absolutely the most passionate about, and you want to beat everyone at,
Okay.
would you cheat to the
Yes.
level of okay, let me finish, but all right. Would you cheat to the level that this man would, where anal beads were involved?
With anal. So, can I distill this question to a different way, or can I
Yeah,
just
go
make
ahead.
sure?
Should we,
So, are you asking me if there are any situations where I would take an action extreme enough to use anal beads
yes.
to ensure an outcome?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there are. I can't think of any, but I'm sure there are.
What would you want to win at?
Life.
That's
Now we're talking the game,
Amen, brother.
the game
The
of life,
tabletop
or
game?
the actual.
Whatever it was, you just lost it. First of all, I don't know, like an activity that I'm still participating in that I'm that passionate about. No, nothing that I'm actively doing right now. What I care that much about to like. I see y'all's faces. Y'all are disgusted. Did you? Richie didn't even finish it.
It's awful. It's
That
a
was that
bad
bitch
whiskey,
shit, homie.
It's a bad whiskey.
focus before I get the things killing out.
Oh,
so
okay.
no game.
I mean, you know, obviously we play Hunt Showdown a lot together, but I wouldn't like.
Take an
No,
anal bead to.
I'm not trying to-
or we're not to peak.
I'd take a cock ring.
Yeah, that's fair.
So would you?
Yeah, I get it. Richie, what about you?
So
Anal
to
bead.
me,
Anal bead.
Would you take an anal bead for your softball team?
so listen. There's two
Undefeated.
thoughts to this. There's two answers to this.
Your niece has an undefeated season.
There's two answers to this. I don't play the game. I don't play the game.
But she'd be the world's best coach.
I don't play the game. So Michael Jordan said, "I can live with failure, but I cannot live with not trying." Now,
if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
no, now if the anal beads
what I
were
heard.
considered cheating, I would not do it.
Okay.
But if you're telling me that like the anal beads are trying, I can live with failure, but I cannot live with not trying.
So what we're saying is there's a loophole. There's no rule specifically outlawing it, but there's no rule accounting for
in
it either.
softball, as a coach, I don't see how the anal beads are going to help.
Doesn't matter. I just want to think about it.
Also, you got to think about it like this: somebody else is playing this guy's game. He's the figurehead.
True.
He's
I
a
love
figurehead.
that.
Actually, I was always curious how does the cheating in the chess work? Does that mean that the smart person's in the stands?
That's what
No,
I'm saying.
what it
The
mean-
smart
no,
person needs to be
no,
in that
no, no.
seat.
What it means is, as you could obviously go on a computer and like enter your current moves. That person isn't necessarily the better chess player. They have access to more
so
resources.
they're using like Watson.
There you go.
Yeah, so they can
So
use
it's
Watson-
cheating.
This
It's
is
cheating.
So like, have you ever like? So there's
It's
a
awful,
there's
man.
a-
I don't know why you're
so-
trying to finish it.
So
tried, I can't.
imagine like, hey, if I'm playing you in chess online, and you choose the white pieces, then I want to cheat.
Of course I
I'll
would.
I'll go to pick a second game and pick the opposite piece, and every time you put a play in, I will play that.
And let the
play.
computer use it against me.
That could be what they're doing.
I mean, I could
That's
see
cheating.
it.
That's cheating.
That
Straight
is
up cheating.
cheating. That's absolutely cheating.
Well, that's the crux of it. Are you willing to cheat to win?
No, because
it made
There's
you the
nothing you're willing to cheat to win in.
no,
Yeah.
because at least the lotto. If you tell me there's $1.5 billion,
Oh, I'd take anal beach for the lotto.
$1.5 billion, you're talking about like $1.5 billion.
You'll take an anal beat to win the lotto.
What's the least amount of money you take an anal bead for?
the hell? That's not the question.
That's the new question.
This
It's a
is
way
not-
better
hey,
question.
This is not the Gata show.
Would you put
But
it?
you're
would
telling
you-
me that making millions is $1.5 billion, and you're not gonna put anal beads up.
Enough.
Would you put an anal
G's
beads?
gonna use anal beads.
Would you put an anal beads for $100?
No.
Really?
No.
That's too little, man.
250?
You're selling yourself
No,
short.
You're selling yourself short.
1,000.
You're
That's
selling
two.
yourself short.
That's two PS5s. You wouldn't put a fucking set of anal beads in your
We-
butt for
we
two
can't-
You're selling
PS5s.
yourself.
can't-
How many anal beads? So we're talking.
Just like a string of three.
Don't make me get the turkey. I got the turkey. You want me to bring him back out?
I'd,
Relax.
I will do anal beats for a PS5.
I can't do this. I can't. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break because there's no way to come back from.
He's got to reel us in, guys.
I got to reel everybody back in. Guys, stay tuned for a message from our sponsor, Midnight Fables Cabaret. I'm sorry, Sugar Mama, that this is allowed to happen on my watch. Please forgive me. We'll be back.
Sponsor of Bourbon and Bullshit, Big Bang Boom Collective is Orlando's burlesque and cabaret entertainment group, comprised of Midnight Fables Cabaret, Big Bang Boom Cabaret, and Foxy's Den. Follow us on Instagram at Big Bang Boom Collective, or join our VIP email list for info on upcoming shows by visiting www.bigbangboomcollective.com.
All right, guys, and we are back. Hopefully, you are hitting up Midnight Fables Cabaret and hanging out with the Sugar Mama, because the more of her bills that you pay, the more of mine. And as you can tell from all the money I've been spending on bourbon, I'm in a lot of debt. And if a guy named Mickey asks about me, you don't know me. Listen, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour exactly what we should have poured. Instead of these Pat's Blue Ribbon trash that we just had and poisoned ourselves with.
It's bad.
What we are going to drink now is Stag Junior, which is recently renamed to just Stag because we dropped the Junior and just kept Stag. So
Really?
yeah. So
It was like Weenie Hut.
yeah, kind of. So recently, because Stag Junior is part of this George T. Stag collection from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, this bottle renamed itself. It used to be called Stag Junior, which, it's like saying Thing 1 and Thing 2, but they don't want to be called Thing 2 because they don't want to seem inferior.
Oh, just thing.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
So it's Thing A, Thing B, but even that. So they want to be called White Lightning and like whatever it was.
El Diablo.
El Diablo.
White dog.
So George T. Stagg was born in Kentucky on December 1835. Stagg built most of what is dominantly known as a major distillery now recognized as Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
So Stagg Jr. is one of two straight Kentucky bourbons that are considered barrel proof. Now, we talked about barrel proof bourbons being a little bit hot. This Stagg Jr. is 131.1 proof. And for all of those of you who said, oh my God, what was the other one? Because you said it's one of two. Shut up, relax. It's part of the antique collection, which is very hard to find, George T. Stagg. That collection comes out once a year. And if you find it, listen, it's terrible. Just ship it to me. I'll take care of it for you.
Shit.
It's awful. It's trash. You don't want it.
It's
You should
really bad whiskey. You
really-
should definitely send it
Just
to
buy
Bourbon
it.
and Bullshit.
Just
Send
buy
to
it.
G.
100%
On site.
buy it on site and send it to me so I can just throw it out for you. Don't worry about it. I'll send you the money.
Don't worry about him dumping it.
No, it's fine.
Don't
It's
ask
fine.
any questions. Just drop it off.
But Stagg Jr. is typically aged about 8 years, where the George T. Stagg is 13 to 15 years. Antique.
Wow.
A little bit older. But they are all made of the same mash bill. So some of the bottles that you might recognize from the exact same mash bill, which we'll talk about in Whiskey Minute, but is generally what it's compromised of, the wheat, barley, and all these other good ryes and things of that. It is the same as Eagle Rare, which is a
I love
very
Eagle
popular
Rare.
bottle.
I love
but-
Eagle Rare.
I love Eagles
You
because I'm an American.
proud to be an American.
Where were you January 6th?
For real.
Yeah, where were you on January 6th? We talked about this on Thanksgiving.
I was talking mad shit about some shit that happened on January 6th to people I know, honestly.
Focus. So, what's cool about this? Fuck you, fucking talking to people with Thanksgiving. I hate you. What's cool about this bottle is that what made it so sought after made no type of sense. And afterwards, when you actually get to try it, and nowadays when we've corrected in retail, we corrected a lot of these distributors. So there's a little bullshit going on with distributors who are kind of hoarding their stuff and gatekeeping. Stagg Junior is now much more readily accessible. So you can walk into your Publix, you can walk into your local like Walgreens, ABC, whatever has a liquor store, Target has liquor stores. Target has liquor stores.
What?
Does
Where?
Walgreens have liquor stores?
Walgreens
Walgreens
has
has a
liquor.
bunch.
Yeah.
Walgreens, what a dorky organization.
Yeah,
Like,
that's weird. That's a unique
But
thing.
where does Target have liquor?
There's one in Sanford. Yeah, it has a
There
full
is.
I
list
live
of-
near
there's one in
Stanford.
Daytona or on
There's-
Panama City
yeah.
Beach too.
There's
I live
so
in
Target has a liquor store and they get unique stuff. So as we talked about earlier, with Kmart getting unique stuff that no one's looking for, walk into those unique liquor stores at Costco, BJ's. They get stuff because you
Sam's?
need a Sam's because you need a
I
membership.
do remember BJ's getting some stuff when I
Yeah.
dabbled. with the little.
Yeah.
with the
Dabble to BJ's.
Dabble to BJ's.
I dabble with BJ's.
God damn it, I hate y'all.
You have a membership to BJ's.
Gotta have membership room.
Focus.
Fair.
Focus. So
You've been loading us up with whiskey all night.
Focus.
You get exactly what you paid for.
I did this to myself. So the three key factors that make George Stagg Jr. as popular as it is first is made by the Buffalo Trace Distillery, and everyone makes them holier than thou. I'm not shitting on Buffalo Trace. I love everything they
It's
do,
good.
but there are other distilleries as good. But this is the most notable, reputable name in high-end whiskey. We talked about how it's true though. We talked about Pappy Van. People talk about
Pappy's,
Pappy's,
Eagle,
Pappy's,
Stag,
baby.
Weller's.
Cool. All Buffalo Trace.
All Buffalo Trace.
All Buffalo Trace.
All Buffalo Trace.
And when we talk about like trash, we talk about Wild Turkey. And when we had to disprove
Evan.
that, like,
Hey,
Evan
that was
Williams,
good stuff
We had to
that you gave us.
disprove that. They've done a very good job of marketing themselves as a cut above the rest. And not shitting on their product. Their product's fantastic, but the marketing there is legit, and I praise them for that.
I'm curious as to how much your perception of a brand changes, how much your taste
We talked
is
about it.
influenced, right? Because like if I get like what made Buffalo Trace well respected? I'm sure their stuff tastes nice, but is it so much better than Jack Daniels that it's just like, oh my God, it smokes it out of the water?
So yes and no. So here's where Buffalo Trace sets itself apart. They're unique flavor
Buffaloes.
profiles, but they're also less expensive than they should be for high quality that they are. Up until Pappy's, yes, there's Anthony Bourdain. People have hyped them up. Richie, go ahead. Do you have a thought before you lose it? I know you have.
Buffalo Trace also owns Benchmark.
Now it does.
Yeah. So like if you think about it, like Benchmark is like a $10, $11 whiskey, but you're still getting that same quality as if you were to buy Buffalo Trace at what is it, $25?
$25.
It's not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah. So that's why. So
Yeah.
to your point is that $25 bottle of bourbon is all purpose and will do the job and make it taste like $100 bourbon for $25. So it hyped itself up. It does the job well, and it's a value versus what it's delivering.
Okay.
So they created this holy trinity of their baselines. So you get it's almost like, I hate to put it back into this, Old Navy, the Gap, and Banana Republic.
Oh,
It's similar clothing.
I messed with all of them.
Yeah, slightly elevated material, but at the end, I'm buying.
You're
Old
just
Navy.
buying Old Navy with a different wrapper.
Yeah, and that's what you get with.
I haven't been to Old Navy in a long time.
So the
Old
mash
Navy
bill, different
slaps.
Same here.
Sure,
Different
sure
mash
does.
bills for Old Navy to Eagle Rare, but no, Old Navy to Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace to Eagle Rare, but Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, and Blanton's are the little trinity, the different levels of it. You're paying for the premium for what that image has been depicted as. I have plenty of bottles of Blanton's. I'm not drinking it out every day. I'm not seeking it out, but the motherfuckers are fucking give a left nut so they can bring a bottle of Blanton's to their next poker night. I've had a customer tell me that.
Did he give it to you?
No,
Do you have it?
I don't want the left
Was
nut.
it his right one?
Is it in like
It's
a jar?
Yeah, it's a little jar. It's pickled. Yeah,
pickled nut?
All right,
And that goes down to some fava beans.
hey, so bring it back.
Where's the turkey?
Hit me with a turkey. What is
Where's
that?
the turkey?
I earned a turkey.
There
All right,
it is.
second is a barrel-proof bourbon, which is exceeding popularity with bourbon enthusiasts. So when you talk about, I think we had this conversation about where it's frowned upon drinking whiskey because it's a problem. Hey, but you can drink 14 cases of Miller Lite to the face to get the same job done. At some point, hipsters made it cool to drink overproof bourbon, and it
Man,
just
fuck hipsters.
I mean, but then they caught on to something because hipsters do that from time to time. They get you the best restaurant, they get you the best beer. I still don't fuck with IPAs, but here we are.
IPAs aren't bad, bro. What is
They're
wrong with you?
really
One at
good.
a time with the judgment.
No, I mean, I know you're not a beer dude. I know you'll drink a beer, but it's not your forte. But
It's not my
There's
forte.
nothing
I'm
wrong
not.
with
I'm not going to
IPAs.
tolerate
It's
just unnecessary
they're-
slander on
They're
IPAs.
just not as good as they're depicted. But we're
True.
gonna
They're not like the king of beers.
Yeah.
That's Budweiser,
Listen,
obviously.
I just need to get. Oh my god.
They're still perfect.
I hate you. I hate you. Listen,
Modelo's the king of beers.
Yeah, it
apparently.
is. So, whiskey enthusiasts at some point really adopted the higher proof, more powerful profiles and powerful flavors. I'm trying not to laugh. A third reason why it's so popular is it released in batches of twice a year. So you built in this whole kind of it's rare. you built in the supply demand type of issue. Everyone wants it, but it's only coming out twice, and we're not going to tell you where, and we're not going to tell you when.
So they're manufacturing their own supply chain issues.
The allocation of whiskey, at least whiskeys like Stag, George T. Stag, Eagle Rare, Weller's, it's all fabricated by the distillery.
Yeah, it's a false supply chain.
So here, and this is where I'm going to be fair. Even at some point, and this is like, this made news, the distilleries were they were pumping them out. But who was gatekeeping it was distributors. Because what they were hoping was, let's say RNDC, I also distribute Fireball, but you're not buying Fireball as much as you're asking me for Stag. Listen, if you buy 2 pallets of Fireball, I can probably get you the next Stag.
Oh, so they're attaching it to...
Yeah.
No,
So distributors were using it as leverage.
And
they're like, I need you to buy 2 cases of this, and then I can give you 2 bottles of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were increasing the chances of people getting them. But this recently came out also that there were gatekeepers that were so much so like, hey, I have a already existing relationship with these organizations. I'm going to send it to them. So recently those people were let go. So we've been seeing the flooding of markets. That's why now Stag Junior is readily available at normal supermarkets.
I mean, isn't it logical then if your product is in such demand that people are actually creating a false gatekeeping economy around it, you should just raise your production and your company will make the money as opposed to a distributor?
So here's all, I'll play devil's advocate. I'm not disagreeing with you, but so this bottle takes 8 years to
So
make.
Any change will take 8 years to hit market.
Exactly. And
I'm
that's
letting you know, George Dickel does the same thing, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just, it's
Gotta
all
love a
allocated
good
bourbons. It's not all just like Buffalo Trace. It's other organizations also do the same exact thing. They create this whole, I want to make sure that everyone wants my stuff. How can I make it harder to get so people will fall in love with it more? Now, to David, what we were talking about, it takes 8 years for you to even find out if that product's good. I'll give you a good example. In 2022, George T. Stag, the antique collection, which takes 13 to 15 years to age, they opened the barrels, said, this is fucking horrible. Something happened. It went bad. Threw it all out. Oof. They lost a year's worth of bourbon. They did not release that year.
Interesting.
So that took 13 years to find out it was trash. 13 to 15 years. So
I don't know enough about the process there, but is there a way to safeguard against it or to check anything? Or are you just SOL?
Because once you disturb it, it can no longer be said that it's good.
Couldn't you theoretically make test barrels? So if you know if your agent's up for 13 years.
But that's the thing. Not every barrel's the same. So they checked most of the lot.
But I mean, you at least get a chance to identify. I know there's variation.
But to that point, if it's a test barrel, it might as well just be a barrel.
And that's the thing about it.
It could be, but
you're saying to break it open at 10 years. You're saying break it open at 8 years to make sure that.
Yeah, just have
But then in that theory would not be the exact kind of product because I've opened it so many times.
No. One for each check mark. So you got a 15-year whiskey or whatever. You have one for every 3 years. You have 5 extra barrels. One you pop at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15.
I guess you could.
But then again,
and the barrel's not that much waste.
I'm not going to lie to you. The distilling process, it's not going to. At 3 years, it's not going to be the same way it is at 9 years.
Correct, but you can at least would know what your markers are.
But you're not going to be able to save. You're not going to be able to save the 15-year Stag. Even take Stag out of it. You're not going to be able to save the 15-year whiskey at 9 years.
But you know if it's completely off the rails.
You will know. But
so
what are you going to do?
Hey,
but what are you going to do?
You're able to dump your loss there and begin refilling those barrels with new product.
True. Okay. I see what you're saying. But you're still going to lose those years.
Yeah, everything's lost, but it's just when can I cut my losses if there is one, and pivot out.
And I 100% agree with you. I think that the concern is since everything isn't the exact same, you still run the risk of, all right, so let's say I made it to year 8. And the test barrel was absolutely trash. And I'm about to dump it. And halfway through pouring out one of the other barrels, like, oh, no, this is actually pretty good.
Exactly. Well, it's not like the other barrels don't exist. Yeah, hey, the test failed. Can I pop another barrel? Let's try it.
Yeah. So I think that might be where you might see whiskey blends. So a little bit of context behind that is like you'll find, hey, this is made from Hibiki Harmony is a run from the Hibiki Suntory brand. They used to make a Hibiki 12, 21, 18, a bunch of other years. And they did not expect the popularity of their bottles to take off. So at some point, they had a random arrangement of aged barrels in their warehouse. So you had an 8-year, a 6-year, a 21-year, the remnants of a 16-year,
They just poured them in a bowl.
and just start pouring them together because they're like,
up?
we're not making enough of what people need in the supply and demand, and we want to capitalize on that we're hot right now.
Does that cause chaos with the notes or anything, or is it just kind of?
It gives you very unique flavor profiles. No two bottles will taste the same.
Don't like.
I could fuck with that.
So don't like. Bourbon enthusiasts kind of do that, where they're like, "Oh, I'm at the end of my Stag. I'm at the end of my Trace. I'm at the end of my Rare. I'm at the end of my Wellers," and they mix them.
It's called an infinity
There it is.
bottle.
Yep.
So the infinity bottle is
That seems dangerous.
that people will make their own blends based off what they have left. And like, oh, let me pour this in a decanter, fully seal it, and when it's full, seal it, and let it age as long as I want to. Let's open it on a monumental day for me.
Do you have one?
No, because
That sounds like something you should do.
because I have a problem. I'm joking.
He doesn't run out, guys. Also, subscribe to the Patreon so he doesn't ever run out.
The occasional foot picture is included.
Yeah, I will. There might be a toe in there. But all that to say, no, I don't have an infinity bottle, but I've been thinking about making it. People actually post their formulas online. It's wild how deep they get into it. But we have been nerding out for a while without actually partaking in the actual beverage. But Stag Junior, boys and girls, for anyone who has not tried this, let me know. I'll hook you up. If you become apparently a sponsor, you might get a bottle. Cheers. That's going to put hair on your everything.
It's as good as I remember.
Okay.
That was genuinely refreshing after the shit you just made me drink.
The shit I made you drink, or the
You
shit that
forced it
someone
upon me.
the shit that someone brought into my house?
That was a gift.
He keeps saying that like that
His
excuses
face.
the bad behaviors.
You had like a Batman villain face right there.
So this one is 131.1 proof. Now, we haven't played this game yet today. How much do you think this bottle cost? Bad for podcasting, but he's spinning the bottle now.
I'm looking. I'm making an assumption, an assessment.
131 comes out twice a year, give or take. What would you put the cost at?
I don't know, $50.
That's pretty close, but still on the lower end. Richie already
So
knows.
I know
Yeah.
because I bought a bottle, but that's a really good guess.
So the bottle
Yeah, you already know.
typically goes around $65 to $100 depending on the market and depending where you are. So the bottle itself, not super duper expensive, but one of the things that they they show off and they say they're prideful in is an uncut, unfiltered bourbon. So this is one of those barrel proof right out the rip. Like you are going to get the least fucking just like diluted version of some shit. This is raw. Uncut.
It's definitely spicy.
Yeah, it's meant to be. It's meant
But
to.
it's not horrible.
It's not unpleasant, but it's spicy.
Yes, I agreed.
It's tough. It's tough to get people to always like it. So it's interesting that you guys both like it. It gives you this thing called a Kentucky hug. This is
a real man.
Oh no, I know plenty.
Look at
of
the
women,
hair on his chest.
I know
boy.
plenty of women who love this shit. The proof limit.
Hair on their chest too.
Yeah,
All right.
like a woman with some hair on her chest.
I
Love
hate
you, baby.
Oh my! What? Okay, we're not doing that. Is that a thing we're doing? We're not doing that.
No,
we're not doing that.
we're
We're
at
not doing
all.
that. I can't. But regardless, this bottle isn't super expensive. It's just harder to find than normal. Richie, I already know your thoughts, but what? How do you feel?
I mean, compared to what I gifted you,
It was the gift.
it was a gift.
That was a curse, homie.
I would drink 100 of these bottles before I'd finish the one that I gifted you. Like this is a bottle that, again, like he said, it's in the wild, in the MSRP type thing. You're not gonna really find this, but it's worth it at the price point. It is $65 to $100. Definitely worth it. High proof. Doesn't like it's spicy, but it's not a spicy that's unbearable.
I agree. I think what's cool about it is there is a lot of flavor packed in that heat. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So it's not just something that's it's like when people eat hot peppers just for the heat, like those crazy, like there's no real flavor.
yeah,
there.
like the Carolina Reaper or the ghost pepper.
No, I've
There-
tasted 3 sips, and all 3 I've noticed something different each time.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it. It's not just trying to burn you to burn you. It's not trying to get you drunk to get you drunk. It is you're gonna enjoy the ride. You're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be a ride. There's gonna be the morning after. The morning after. It's not going to be great, but you're going to get a lot out of this and you're going to enjoy it. So, because I am rabbit hole-ish at all times. The moment I said 130 something proof, huh? I wonder what's the highest proof alcohol. What proof number do you think is the highest recorded proof
154.
that's sold?
154.
Well, it's Everclear, like 190.
Is that your guess?
No, hold on. No, Everclear's not 190. Everclear's 151. But I think 154 is
not
the
put
highest.
phones.
No phones. I think 154 is the highest.
I'm gonna go 190.
190? What kind of spirit do you think it is?
It's got to be a vodka of some sort.
Richie?
I'm gonna go with a vodka as well, but I don't think they're higher than 154. Like legally allowed to sell.
Has the alcohol industry always been very legal?
So I'll give you this. I will give you a hint. It's not in the United States. It wasn't.
Mother Russia.
It wasn't
in
created
Russia.
in the United States.
We make the goodest
It's in
vodka.
Ukraine or Russia.
The vodka here always
So-
hit on 190% proof.
In Mother Russia, alcohol drink you.
Alcohol drink you.
All right, so
Da.
the
Da.
so the bottle is Spiritus, Spirtytus. It is a Polish vodka.
Poland.
Oh,
It's
shit.
192 proof, 96%
Suck my
There you
alcohol.
go. There you go.
bitch.
You got it. You got it.
The name translates to rectified spirit. Is the strongest spirit for sale in the United States. It's like getting punched in the solar plexus.
I bet,
One sampler told the New York
Damn, they
Post.
said solar plexus.
Yes.
Dude, have you ever shot Everclear?
Yes, I have Everclear
It's
at the house.
fucking miserable.
I just made
We're-
a ghost face punch with Everclear.
It's evil.
So we're gonna go ahead and go through the rest of this list. Number two is
I want a turkey button.
number two. The turkey button is timeless.
It needs to stay.
Everclear is 190 proof. Good golden grain vodka. It just says alcohol. It's for the same makers of Everclear, but it doesn't say what kind of spirit it is. It just says alcohol. It says golden grain alcohol.
Golden
That
grain's a
says
vodka, bro.
Nothing else. Someone said that you use this to make drinks like the Screaming Purple Jesus and Instant Death.
I'm sorry, what?
It's Screaming Purple Jesus is a
And
drink.
instant death? That sounds awful.
Screaming Purple Jesus sounds amazing.
Screaming Purple Jesus and the Instant Death. It's 190 proof. Then quadruple whiskey. It is an X4 184 Scottish whiskey based on the 17th century method of quadruple distilling. Brockiercollex X4 is billed as the highest proof single malt ever made, aged in new oak casks to enhance the flavor.
If it's anything like Dwarves, I
Oh
won't
my
like it.
god!
Oh my fucking god. You ready to hear the recipe for a Screaming Purple Jesus?
Okay, before I get to number 5, go ahead. What's in the Screaming Purple Jesus?
I'm laughing and I don't even know the recipe, but just off of Gadda's laugh.
1 part Everclear. 4 parts Kool-Aid grape.
Is that it?
That's the whole recipe. That's the full recipe.
It's full of riboflavin.
It's just grape Kool-Aid with Everclear. They give it a whole fucking name.
Bro, why do they call it Jesus though?
Screaming Purple Jesus. I was expecting some shit to go into this thing.
I thought I would have to order green
I
chartreuse.
thought
purple
holy
chartreuse.
water was involved.
Dude, I opened the recipe. I started scrolling to the bottom of the page, trying to find it. I was like, wait, this is all other articles.
All right,
I had to go back to the top.
So number 5 is another fucking looks like this is a rum. It's a white rum, River Antonio Royal Grenadian rum. What country is this? Grenada. There's a country called Grenada.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is one. There's a whole country there.
No, I know, but I just said it's a country.
Grenada.
I was a Grenadian. I was a Grenadian. Grenada. It is 180 proof. This is where it's interesting. This gets interesting actually. There's a gold label premium reserve absinthe. It's 179 proof from Czech Republic. Jesus, 179. Then there's more vodka.
I think
Rum.
vodka is the highest. Vodka and rum are the highest. proofs.
Guess which made number
Clears.
10?
Stag Junior.
151.
Oh, there it is.
Bacardi?
Yeah, Bacardi 151
Dude,
is
that's
number
just
10.
the devil.
And then number 12 is a bourbon. Angel's Envy cask strength bourbon whiskey finished in port wine barrels. It's
That sounds delicious.
119 proof.
I want to scream.
That
Jesus.
sounds delicious.
That has to be a typo. If you look at how they wrote it, 1,119.8 proof. I was like,
This thing is 5,000% alcohol.
It's basically more alcohol than anything in the world.
it's jet fuel. No, that has to be a typo. I'm assuming it's 119. But if I swear to God, look at the screen. It says
Anything in a
1,100.
port barrel, I'm about. Like, have you had the Basil Hayden
Yeah, of
port
course,
finish?
of course.
It's so good.
But it tells you something about these high-end, like higher proof spirits. The fact that, which is find it interesting because if Angel's Envy 119.8 proof is on there, but Stag isn't, there has to be a miskey somewhere here. But yeah, vodka. We talked about it earlier.
Vodka hits, man.
This is not the show for vodka, but what the fuck is going on in the world of vodka in Poland? Stop fighting bears.
Vodka comes from the depressed part of the world, homie.
Jesus,
They need that shit.
Potatoes.
Potatoes, bro, they grow everywhere.
Yeah.
Except in Ireland.
So
in that
does
one
wheat.
period.
Dude, just that one stretch of time.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal, though.
During the famine?
Apparently, it almost
Thank you for putting that together, G. We
it
didn't know
almost
we could-
eliminated
famine?
the country.
All right, focus. So we're going to go ahead
Potatoes are
and
Thanksgiving.
wrap up this episode of Bourbon and Bullshit with probably going to get hit on something. Someone from Fox or whoever made these games is going to hit us up. But it has been a fun fucking episode. It's been obviously a very consistently drinking one as we're finishing this up. But as always, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. But first and foremost, we're going to go with Gata. Do you have anything to say to the listeners out there that love your Southern twang and your Mason Georgia Dixon line?
Mason
voice?
Georgia Dixon. You just fucked that entire piece up,
Mason
didn't you?
Dixon.
All over the
Yeah,
South.
bro. I'm sorry
Oh,
that you
Mason
had
Dixon?
Mason Dixon will be the line.
Yeah. All right.
Oh no, I'm just
Florida, Georgia line, and then there's the Mason Dixon
I know.
line.
There's a lot of lines in the South. Apparently,
Focus. Anything you want to say to the people?
No, I'm just super happy to have been here. Enjoyed the drinks that we had. Enjoyed the company of good friends. Looking forward to what I think will be our next time together, which is going to be my speciality.
So, boys and girls, if anyone who does not know, I want to give you a little preview to the next episode. Will be Life After Retail and Game Day. So we'll be talking to Dave and a good buddy of ours, Josh, about their rivalry between the Florida Gators
Yep.
and the
Gators.
Georgia Bulldogs as
SC.
well.
Sorry.
as-
So, no, my team's name. Sorry,
Okay.
it's the back-to-back
Oh, that's not a name.
defending
That's not a name.
national champion
Is that?
Georgia
That's not the name.
motherfucking Bulldogs.
I'm pretty sure that like most of those words aren't included on the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's
I
not
can find them
in your heart if you look hard enough.
If you look hard enough.
He'll be part of that episode where we also talk about the craziest things that have gone on in retail and their experience, how life after retail changed, and when did they stop facing random stores that they were walking inside of.
There's a lot of random human turds involved in those stories, I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. So we're gonna have fun with that one.
Good luck.
So it will be a great episode, and can't wait to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else, Dave?
No, man, it was a great time. Thanks for the invite.
Of course, anytime, man. Apparently, people like the voice, so we're gonna try to minimize people
happy to be
sending in
here.
hate mail.
I'll do what I can.
Richie, Homes by Richie, and everything else going on, and any story where you want to be the Grinch and be a villain in. What would you like to plug, or anything you want to say to the people?
The biggest thing I want to plug is Arthur, or G, as I know him, and Bourbon and Bullshit, and his stream, GVirus228. Like, it's incredible how far you've come with what you're doing in such a short amount of time.
Thanks,
You know,
man.
you come from the full frontal nerdity and co-hosting, and now you have a passion project of your own, and it's just incredible to see. You know,
Thanks, man.
Hey, you remember that time you made fun of me for plugging G on his own stream?
He didn't make fun of you. He gave you a shout
I really
out.
did, but I mean, I really did. But to truth, like the passion, it bleeds through in every single episode that you've done so far, and genuinely, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I look forward every week to it. So, like,
Appreciate it, man.
if you're not subscribed to his YouTube, definitely subscribe to the YouTube, Apple, Spotify,
I'm on
all that good stuff.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Are you on TikTok yet?
No, because I don't know how to work a phone. I have the
You need
flip
to
one.
get
I don't even have
No, but-
TikTok installed.
Because not for nothing, these drink recipes from you need to be on TikTok because
I will do my best.
they would
the
blow up
kids need to see
Yep.
how to drink effectively.
effectively.
Guys, I'm here to provide with all the alcohol, but I do appreciate that. I appreciate you guys both being on, and it's for anyone who is listening for the first time. This is something I'm passionate about. Have fun with, and if you ever hear me speaking too quickly, I'm Dominican, so we speak in a way like we feel like there's a time limit, but I am doing my best. So we're growing and changing in every single episode. From pilot to now, I think we've gone a long way.
Faster
Oh, yeah.
in Spanish.
Yeah.
Like if you talk to a Dominican Spanish,
No,
that's
it's fucking
It's
awful.
difficult.
It's very
Yeah.
difficult. But I do want to give a shout out to you guys coming onto the show, hanging out with us. It is late at night, and we probably have 4 more shots left. It's gonna be a mess.
It's 1:14 in the morning.
1:14 in the morning, but we are here. We pushing
That's
through
love.
for the
I've got
listeners.
brunch tomorrow.
I have tiles to do tomorrow because I'm Hispanic. But we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to go ahead and thank everyone for tuning in, hanging out with us. Follow us on socials on Instagram, because that's the main social. It will be at bourbon_and_BS, where I post a bunch of my fun stuff, every drink I'm making, everything I got going on, and you can see reels and any just random bourbon facts. Whiskey Minute will be dropping, I believe, the first week of December. I wanted to make sure that everything was lined up. So if you're interested in figuring out or finding out more tips, tricks, history on bourbon, concepts, and just kind of understanding this, because I know that we're here. I'm a rookie. I'm, for all intents and purposes, an amateur at this. So we're having fun, and I want you guys to be on that ride with me. So I'm going to try to give you some of my knowledge, and if you guys have any questions, I'll do the research for you and make sure that I share that with everyone. So please stay tuned and stay subscribed. Share this with everyone you can. We are on Apple, Spotify, every streaming service I can find, including YouTube. But, I have a face for radio, so this is going to be a little bit before I get a camera. But I appreciate everyone and everything you're doing.
Subscribe to Patreon. He needs a camera.
I need a camera. So you let me know, and we'll work it out. But as always, oh, my God, we didn't get it right. The turkey say goodbye. Thanks, guys, and see you soon. Hey, guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn Termite and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdy Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had. From flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business, I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Byrne Termite and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Byrne Termite and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.